Hello, godly seers. Welcome back. Happy Sunday, everybody. So today I'm moving on to point number 7 of the 9 points that I was trying to make previously about the 9 different things that we should not do or you should not be doing as a Christian parent, or things that you should be doing for your child as a Christian parent. So my point number 7 is that take your time when you're naming your child. Do not just name your child anyhow. Do not just give your child any name without knowing what that name means. Do not just take the responsibility of what your child should be called in the hands of somebody else. We've all heard of situations where someone has a child and they call upon a relative to give the child a name. And some people will give, their child a name of a relative. It could be a name of their parent. Not that it's a bad thing, but before you give that child that name, at least try and look into the life of that person that, possessed that name. How did they live their lives? How was, what was life like for them? And as for the meanings, a lot of the names and the meanings carry a lot of our destiny. Actually, without us, realizing, they carry a lot of the meaning or the spiritual things that come with those names. A lot of people have become victims of the names they were given, me being one of those people. A lot of people have encountered a lot of issues in life, all linked to the type of name they were given. Sometimes, especially English names, they may sound really, really good, and parents just name. Sometimes they would just give their child a name just because it sounds good. Like I used to have she wasn't necessarily a friend, but I went to church with a girl called Portia. We've all heard of that name, Portia. It sounds like a really nice name, but in reality, Portia means a pig, basically. So don't just go, and there's some other names, with other meanings. Like, I used to go to school with a boy called Nicholas. And Nicholas, at a very, very, very young age, he had a lot of, issues with alcohol. I don't know how, or maybe his parents were drinkers, or they were doing alcohol as a business. I don't know. This boy would jump the school fence to go buy alcohol. But later on, again, I heard that names like Nicholas, they are represented by the spirit of alcoholism. So we need to be very, very careful what we name our children, what we choose to call our children. You will see sometimes in families, when you're called you're called by, let's say, a dead relative's name, or a particular relative that you're named after. When you start having any dreams that signify difficulty in your name, it's not uncommon that you start dreaming about that particular relative of yours. There is usually something in common. There's something that links you to them, aside them just being a family, just a normal family member. So the demonic world will seek every measure they can to attach themselves to people. And if there is a name that makes it really easy, they'll easily, link into that. As a person, like personally, I've given that testimony many times that I was named. Someone declared what my name should be before I was even born. Like when my mom was pregnant with me, somewhere where they went to collect something, the person told them that when that child is born, this is the name you should give him. And lo and behold, I was given that name. And it's not until I changed that name that I started going through a lot of difficulties, constantly tormented in the dreams, being arrested, being told that I was never supposed to change the name. I'm altering destiny. It's like there was a case spiritually going on against me because of the name. By the grace of God, I battled it and got the victory. And I left it alone because I still didn't have this information until later on, before my father passing, when he told me that actually the woman that named you, he gave me a little background about the woman that named me. She was a juju kind of woman that gave them the name they should call me. And she's like, look, this woman has been asking of you for the past few years. She can't locate you on her radar. We thought you were dead. Even before any human telling me that you're dead, I just concluded that you're dead, because every time I've gone to this woman, she said they can't find you. They can no longer locate you on your radar. And personally, I can remember the exact time, the exact period. I think it was probably somewhere, was it 2008? When the Lord specifically told me, it just came out of nowhere. remove that name from among your names, change that name. And I didn't even know why I was changing it. It had never occurred to me that I didn't like the name. I didn't have any reason not to like it because I've never known the meaning. It's not one of those names that may have a obvious meaning, but it's probably a meaning was hidden by or known by the person that, you know, given that gave me the name. So long story short, do not give your children those funny names, you know, or names that you don't know what they mean. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one, which will be point number 8. Bye.